Hello everyone and welcome back to Life Lemons and Lemonades. As I record this episode, it's already 2:23 a.m. on November 17, 2024. Today's episode is deeply personal to me. It's not the episode I had originally planned to release. Episodes 3 and 4 are scheduled to be published, but with everything happening, the potential catastrophic and life-threatening situations that Super Typhoon Pepito or Manny may cause in the Philippines, I felt it was necessary to pause and dedicate this space to something much greater than our usual conversations. I just want to apologize if my voice sounds a little off right now. It's already past 2 a.m. as I record this, and to be honest, the weight of what's happening combined with the lack of sleep, it's already taking its toll on me. Anyway, Super Typhoon Pepito, also known internationally as Manny, is still within the Philippine area of responsibility and hasn't even reached halfway across our country yet. This powerful storm made its first landfall in the Bicol region last night, bringing its strong winds, torrential rains, and the threat of widespread flooding. In fact, as early as yesterday, parts of the Bicol region were already experiencing surge. Thousands of people also have been evacuated, and entire communities are bracing themselves for any possible devastation. This episode is actually dedicated to my fellow Filipinos enduring yet another formidable storm. I pray that we do not have any casualties after this storm and that homes will still be standing and that any livelihoods affected will recover quickly. While we face this uncertainty, I choose to hold on to hope that we will come out of this stronger together. This calamity hits close to home for me, not just because I am a Filipino, but because most, if not all, of my relatives are in the Bicol region, one of the areas significantly perceived to be affected by the Super Typhoon. I've been in contact with them, and on my mom's side, they are almost under one roof, evacuated at my tita's house. I do pray that they will remain safe. For me, what's happening right now isn't just another storm. At this very moment, I can't sleep as it brings back vivid memories of Super Typhoon Yolanda or Haiyan in 2013. I lived in Tacloban during those years and served as a humanitarian worker in its aftermath. Those experiences shaped who I am today and gave me a profound understanding of resilience, courage, and compassion that Filipinos embody during the darkest of times. But I have to admit, even now, I get very emotional when I think and talk about those days after Super Typhoon Yolanda. It's as if the pain and devastation I witnessed are permanently etched into my heart. I've seen it all. The devastation, the heartbreak, the unimaginable loss. After Yolanda, homes were reduced to rubble, communities wiped out, and a death toll that still feels incomprehensible to this day. But what I remember most vividly is the resilience of the people. I remember walking through the streets of Tacloban where survivors picked through debris, searching for anything they could use to rebuild their lives. I remember neighbors sharing the little food and water they had. I remember strangers forming human chains to carry out rescue missions. I remember the sleepless nights and the overwhelming darkness of those first weeks. No lights, no access to basic needs, and almost nothing to eat. Even we, the humanitarian workers, struggled. Food was so scarce that when we did have access to it, it was almost impossible to eat with the pain of witnessing such overwhelming loss and suffering around us. It was in those moments of unimaginable grief that I saw the extraordinary strength of the human spirit. Filipinos, no matter how battered by the storm, always found ways to rise. For almost 3 years, I dedicated my life to serving these communities. I worked with families who lost everything: children who clung to hope, and entire barangays, villages who rebuilt their lives from scratch. Those experiences showed me the power of compassion and the enduring strength of Bayanihan, the Filipino spirit of community. Today, as we face Super Typhoon Pepito, I see that same spirit of resilience and unity shining through once again. Across the country, preparations and efforts are already underway to ensure that communities can endure and recover from this storm. Relief centers are set up and volunteers are working tirelessly to pack and distribute food, water, and basic necessities to those in evacuation centers. Rescue teams are risking their lives to save others, prioritizing the safety of vulnerable families. Even without first-hand stories at the moment, I am confident in the remarkable efforts happening now. I know that somewhere, volunteers are working overnight to pack relief goods, ensuring that no one is left behind. Social media, as always, had become a lifeline. People are sharing evacuation plans, critical updates, and announcements to keep their communities informed and safe. This collective effort shows just how deeply ingrained the spirit of Bayanihan is in our culture. What makes Filipinos truly extraordinary is our ability to find strength and hope, even when the odds are stacked against us. In times of crisis, we don't just survive, we come together, united by our shared humanity and determination to help one another. That light, the light of compassion, courage, and bayanihan, never falters, even in the darkest of times. While we may not all be on the front lines, there's always something we can do to make a difference during a time like this. Whether it's through donations, volunteering, or simply sharing resources, every effort counts. One of the most immediate ways to help is by donating. Trusted organizations and local government units are actively working to provide aid to affected communities. Even a small contribution, whether it's money, food, clothing, or other essentials, can go a long way. While I may not have a specific organizations to share at this moment, I encourage you to support verified groups working in disaster relief. Look for donation drives announced by the local government units, religious organizations, or well-established foundations in the Philippines. If you're in a safe position to help, consider also joining local relief efforts, packing and distributing goods, helping in evacuation centers, or even just checking on neighbors and friends can make a meaningful impact as well. For those unable to donate or volunteer, raising awareness is equally important. Social media is a powerful tool for sharing information about evacuation plans, relief efforts, donation drives. Amplifying verified calls for help and updates can connect people in need with those who can assist. During crises like this, emotional support can be just as vital as physical aid as well. Reach out to family, friends, and colleagues who may be affected. A simple message of encouragement or a listening ear can go a long way in helping someone feel less alone during these difficult times. And lastly, let's not forget to prepare for the aftermath of this storm. Recovery might take time and communities will need continued support long after Pepito has passed. By staying united and compassionate, we can rebuild lives and ensure that no one is left behind. This kind of certain situation don't just test our physical resources, they also challenge our emotional and mental resilience. During times like this, it's important to remind ourselves that even though we may feel helpless or overwhelmed, we still have the capacity to find strength within ourselves and our communities. For those directly affected by this storm, know that it's okay to feel scared, but please do not hesitate to reach out for help. This is not an easy time, and you don't have to face this burden alone. I have gathered a few ways to find and nurture strength during this difficult time, and I hope it helps. First is lean on your community. Filipinos have always been known for our Bayanihan spirit, and it is in moments like this that it truly shines. Whether it's seeking comfort in your family, friends, neighbors, community, remember that you are never alone in this journey. Second, take it one day at a time. Recovery is never instant. Whether you're dealing with a loss, displacement, or simply trying to make sense of what's happening, focus on what you can do today. Small steps matter. Third, find hope in the little things. In every crisis, there are glimmers of hope, stories of kindness, resilience of people, or even the strength you find in yourself to keep going. Hold on to those moments as a reminder that brighter days are ahead, no matter how small they may seem. Fourth, take care of yourself. Whether it's eating a warm meal, getting rest, or taking a moment to pray or reflect, please don't forget to take care of your own well-being. You can only be strong for others if you take care of yourself too. Through it all, I want to remind you that storms, no matter how fierce, do not last forever. Together, with resilience, compassion, and the enduring spirit of Bayanihan, we will rise again. As I close this episode, I want to leave you with this question. What can we do during these challenging times, even in the smallest way? Whether it's through donating, volunteering, or simply offering a kind word, every action matters. And as we reflect on this situation right now, let's also think about how we can prepare for the future, how we can strengthen our communities, build better systems, and ensure that we are ready to face challenges together. If I do have listeners around the world, if you'd like to help, I also encourage you to please consider supporting disaster relief efforts in the Philippines. While I don't have specific organizations to share right now, I urge you to look for verified groups and platforms actively working to provide aid during calamities. Let's hold on to hope and take action to make a difference in someone's life today, no matter how small. To my fellow Filipinos, especially those in the Bicol region and other affected areas, you are in my thoughts and prayers. You are stronger than any storm, and I am standing with you every step of the way. And to everyone listening, thank you for your time, your empathy, and your compassion. As we face this storm together, let's hold on to this truth. While the winds may rage, our spirit is unshaken. Kapit lang and together we will rise. Please take care, stay safe, and God bless.